So, when we last left off, the party was making their way towards Dorado, the sunken homeland of Havelock, a species known as the Orkin that lived in a state that was neither underwater or above water, as it was simply a coexistence that, at the very beginning of space and time, was universal. It was this race of beings that all other creatures stemmed from, and it was this existence, this peace that resonated through this community was something beautiful. As the primordial beings created their existence, the first mortal beings, and then started making more and more concepts such as life, love, and other mysteries, the elemental powers and the concepts of life and death, so too were the deities created in order to manifest and control these aspects of life. And in doing so, the universe grew. The prime material plane manifested into something more than just a concept. It became a world. And as things begin to expand, creatures diverged, and plant life and landscapes were created, so too were the concepts of life and death, of trust and treachery. But in this community of relative peace, there was commerce, there was understanding, there was hierarchy, there was respect, and there was a traitor. For one day, on the horizon, a enormous band of warriors suddenly attacked, coming from seemingly nowhere, as there were no other species or communities, coming out of rifts in time and space, rending this community to nothingness. The entire city was razed, and in its place was merely desolation. Here, now, thousands of years in the future, we come to what we assume to be or understand as the present. At the very bottom of the darkest portions of the ocean, we see craters, pockmarks, and slow bubbling magma that rises up, causing the only slight illumination of the seafloor, where nothing exists. There is no sea life, there are no monsters of the deep, no fish, no sign of anything, far too deep for any sunlight to penetrate down into these thick waters. And it is here that we see the party exploring in this animated contraption, this cephalopod-like golem that Holgir is piloting, while the rest are simply observing. And Havelock points you all in the direction towards where the royals, or lack of a better term, would manifest. There, in a small outcropping in the subterranean mountainside, you can see sections carved out where there are pathways zigzagging up and down, and there are tunnels leading inside. It lacks structure, or perhaps it had some form of architecture before, but the face of this has been completely destroyed. And you can see that there are slight caverns all across the rock face. What would you all like to do?
bring the ship in closer. See if we can't find some hint of where the vault is, I suppose. I assume it would be in the royal area.
The as you move the the cephalopod craft closer, I would like everyone to make perception checks. Anyone that would like to. And if you roll lower than your passive, you can simply tell me you're passive.
26.
Okay. I will just straight up give it to you then, because you are piloting this thing. You can see two figures standing at one of the entrances to these, one of these caverns. One of them slightly taller. I'll say that you're about like 150 feet, but you can just barely make out their form. Just sort of slight shadows in the darkness, because you are the only thing casting any significant light down here. All right. The subtle glow of magma manifesting up from the crust is so distant from the mountain face that the only light that's being cast is from your craft. So you can very slightly see two figures standing on the precipice of one of these caverns. One of them a little bit taller than the other, reaching down with an arm to hold the hand of the smaller figure, and begins leading them inside.
Would their silhouettes have been? I can't imagine they would have been familiar, but could was their shape at all like Havelok's?
No. Havelock does have, his skin has a specific sheen that allows you to sort of denote what his silhouette would be. This looks humanoid, for lack of a better term, but darker.
Havelock, do you remember any dark standard humanoid silhouettes that would be down here?
If you're asking if any humans live down here, no.
No, but it was humanoid. Two
Well,
arms,
besides
two
the
legs,
people that
torso,
attacked
and
us.
head.
Human.
What did the people... What did the people who attacked you look like?
Don't know, they wore a suit of armor around. We never got a good look while fighting. Not like we had much time to look anyway. The fight was over in less than...
We'll need to get a closer look at the very least. And I guess I'll pilot towards the mysterious figures.
Okay. You slowly but surely begin to maneuver closer, and by the time that you reach the entrance to the cavern, the figures are gone. You hear no sound, and Havelock, this place is so destroyed that it is beyond recognizable. But you do
Havelock
know that
has
once
a-
you enter the chambers that it will open up inside.
Havelock is just remaining silent the whole time. Just looking at everything.
Okay. Holgir gingerly maneuvers the craft inside. And your
If
craft
I-
isn't specifically stealth orientated, but you do know that it does not make a whole lot of sound. However, because there is nothing down here and there's no other sound, you are the only thing making sound at the moment as this thing treads along.
Just to ease my own nerves, because Whole Gear doesn't have dark vision, I'll have dancing lights at 120 foot in any direction.
Okay. So yeah, you cast the dancing lights out in front of you and send them down along the tunnel. And as they go out 120 feet, they illuminate these two humanoid figures that turn and look back at you. And you can see that one, they look fairly human. One looks to be about a young teen, and they are holding the hand of what you seem to be fairly similar, perhaps a sibling of some kind, but younger. And before you can really make out any details, as they turn and look at you, they disappear.
As in ghost-like?
You could say so.
Or they just kind of went back behind the range of the spell?
No, as the ball of light moved closer towards them, it illuminated them, and then they disappeared. They like faded out of existence.
Oh. Huh. So either they turned invisible or they were ghosts. Clearly only two options. Yep, I'll keep going down. Unless anybody else has any better ideas for how to get down to the vault.
Yeah, I don't have any ideas. But I'm thinking maybe they were made of shadows. Maybe they got lighted up. They
More
just
than likely,
vanished.
there's the spirits of people that died. It was very common for them to be around.
They did not look like your people have looked. They looked like humans.
Well, they definitely weren't anyone I knew.
It's at about this point that you make your way in towards the internal of this mountainside. You can see that this is actually a large chamber. You believe this entire mountain to be almost completely hollowed out. At one point, there probably were a bunch of twisting pathways, almost like an anthill, with like these pathways shooting across and then sort of connecting at a pillar at the center that looked like, you know, this central pillar was a platform where people can connect together and move amongst these pathways freely by swimming around. However, the entirety of this inside architecture is completely collapsed, as basically you can just see pock marks in the mountainside around you, with a massive hole leading farther down. I'm not sure if I'm describing this very well.
Yeah, we kind of came out into an opening, sort of
Yeah.
like it opened out, and there's a big ass hole in the floor.
Mm-hmm. If you can imagine a terrain where there was a village carved out inside of a mountain, and then an invading force came in and blew it all up, and it basically all collapsed inwards. That's what you're saying. So you
But
can
the
see
outer-
various bits of debris sort of fallen downwards, but you can also see that as they invaded and continued attacking and went below the surface outside, there were still more tunnels below, and so they continued destroying.
Havelock, how deep does all this go, and do you know how deep the vault is?
Well, I never really made it to the boat. I wasn't really a... Besides to get my weapon, normally no one's allowed to for his family themselves. Or at least there was one person, but they're long dead, so no need to talk about them.
Is there any way you could... Oh wait, what am I talking about? Would... You've been there before, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just use the compass I gave you and we should be able to find it no problem.
Very well.
Yeah, it's kind of currently spinning around right now because you guys are basically above it.
Ah,
Flip it sideways. Maybe it works.
Yeah, if you hold it sideways, it points down.
well,
We simply must
follow
keep
the
going
destruction, I guess.
Wait, Havelock, you're trying to find the location of the vault, correct?
down. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's pointing down.
I guess follow the path of destruction.
Okay.
Let me know if this at all becomes a bit too much and you need to take a break.
Holgear, do you want to climb down the wall, or do you just want to leap into the pit?
Climb down the wall, keeping an eye out for anything that might have taken up residence.
Okay. You
Kinda cross it.
slowly begin descending, and as you are descending, it is again quiet. It is still as the grave, as there is no sign of life or activity in here at all. As you go deeper, though, however, Johnny and Freddy, you can both hear the disgruntled concerns and groans of the dragon scales. And they warn you that we're entering the domain of something. You guys are entering a lair.
Well, I don't know what the hell else to do. Wait, were they speaking
it's
out
not
loud in
that.
Draconic, or was that more of a attuned item mental check?
They can speak to Johnny, and I think just because Freddy is part dragon, he can also hear them. But you guys can share that information.
So at first I just hear some random hissing in the background.
Yo, what's up with your shield? Like warning us for it's like warning us or something.
Havlet's just like looking at everyone. What are you talking?
Oh, nothing.
Well, if it is something, then I suppose we should be ready.
I would like to use magic to or detect magic there.
Okay. What's the range on that?
30 foot
Rain. Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay.
sphere.
You do not detect anything other than you guys.
30-foot radius?
Hmm.
Within 30 feet of you. 15-foot radius. Yeah, I don't have anything to help detect anything else.
I guess.
Just keep going, I guess.
I will head outside and
Okay.
wrap my tail around like the thinnest part of this thing, like one of these arms or something, so I can be attached to it. And I'll be looking backwards.
Okay.
Just looking forwards.
You can do that.
Havelock's just gonna feel the water. See if you can feel anything moving in there.
Basically, everybody except Holgear can go outside of this thing and just hold on to the side.
Yeah,
I-
I'm
I-
gonna go out and hang
I'm a
on to
caster.
that.
I guess Freddy can do it, but like I think that Johnny can still like go for a long time because I don't think he needs to breathe, but
Yeah,
Freddy does.
Johnny and Freddy both do need to breathe, but they can hold their breath a long time.
Okay.
Yes. So you continue on downwards, down and down, maneuvering your way around shattered pillars and pathways. And at one point, you do kind of have to move some rubble out of the way and squeak through, and you kind of have to either break it up or kind of move it, because there's just a lot of stuff that has fallen into this pit. But eventually, you make your way down into what almost feels like the underside of the ocean. Because, Holger, as you're going down the side, the wall of this tunnel, suddenly you're just on the roof. There is no more wall. And you can see a floor that's about 200 feet below you, but you do not see any other walls. And it just sort of stretches out into this dark abyss-like horizon that you cannot see anything else. But along the floor, away from the pile of debris that has fallen down into this pit, you can see something that almost looks like a raised area. A large dais, and you think you can see some more figures or something. You're not quite sure. It's too far to tell.
Havelock, do you have any better ideas? Please? This feels like a trap.
If it is, then we'll kill whoever did it. Now pull on your big boy pants and go down.
It's easy for you to say. You can breathe.
Yeah, rest in peace.
At least if I die down here, make sure I'm pickled.
What are you talking about? I'm gonna eat you.
You're hopeless.
Yes,
I will.
I got you
you're
over
the one
here.
helpless in this situation.
Alright. We're going for it, I guess.
Holgear, the water up until this point has been so crushing that you have been unable to swim with the craft up to this point because you've been so deep in the ocean. But now that you let go, you are completely weightless here and can move her about the space freely.
It's very
And in
bizarre.
fact, the water down here is so clear that you don't see any silt moving through it. In fact, it doesn't even sound like water outside.
Is it unnaturally clean in here?
It almost seems like whatever is down here isn't water, for a lack of a better term. You're not exactly what this place is down here. Havelock would tell you that this is a very special place. They call this place Limbo. This is where these beings were first created when they were given access to the surface world, the prime material plane. This is what connects the, quote, real world, unquote, to everything else. This is where it all began. And down below there is a a shrine, for a lack of better term as well. Because the throne room upstairs has been completely destroyed. But this is where everything was made. This is where they keep everything. This is where things are safely stored.
This is the vault.
Yes.
Which the universe, I guess. I will begin swimming downwards, I suppose.
Okay. As you maneuver towards this dais, it is a circular dais that looks about 60 feet in diameter. And you can see that there are 6 what appears to be figures just sort of strapped to rock outcroppings. And they look like absolutely desiccated corpses. They are gaunt and thin and barely resemble any sort of living species that you have ever known. They do not even look like Havelock, but they do look strangely fish-like. One of them kind of looks like it doesn't have skin, but is comprised entirely of scales. The other one looks like it is just a skeleton of coral. Another one just sort of looks like bones, but kind of fleshy and slimy at the same time. And all of these figures are just sort of slumped over and unmoving. And then you see those other 2 figures. And the larger one is urging the smaller one forward.
The same larger and smaller ones?
Yes, the 2 siblings. Would anyone like to make a perception check?
Yeah.
I'll do one.
Havelock, did you have any siblings?
I had a younger sister.
Any resemblances?
21.
25. Oh wait, that's the wrong roll. My bad. Still a 25.
Okay. You can hear the sounds of conversation as the older one says, "Come on, you gotta do it." And the other one is sort of resisting, like, "I don't know, this place is scary. I don't want to be here. I take it back. I don't want to do this." And it almost seems like this is some sort of hazing ritual or bet.
Does it appear as though it is ghostly in nature?
The younger one looks scared to be down here, and the older brother is like egging them on, basically.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned about, are they corporeal? Can we tell that?
Yeah, they're solid at the moment.
Oh, and Hogia, to answer your question, they do not look like.
I guess we get a little closer.
The smaller one says, "What about that thing that we saw earlier? There's not even supposed to be anything down here." "I don't know, it's something weird. Don't worry about it. Come on. All you have to do is go touch one of them." "But aren't they still alive?" "I mean, do they look still alive to you? Come on. Just do it real quick and we can get out of here."
Aren't my lights still on?
You have a faint glow to you, but if you want to send your dancing lights over towards them, you can.
I thought I just had it on me. That way we had a
They're
little bit
faced
of
away from you,
proximity.
so they haven't seen your approach just yet. And you are moving silently because there is no resistance to the water, quote unquote, that's around you.
Huh. I'll cast message at the bigger one.
Okay.
Hey, that thing you saw earlier, that was us. We're not really here to hurt anybody. We're just exploring at the moment. Turn around and you'll see us.
He'll turn around and say, "Oh shit," and then he'll fade out of existence, and then the smaller one will be like, "What? Noah? No, where'd you go? No, I can't do it without you." And they just start looking around nervously. And you can see that they're like kind of scrunching up, like they're trying to turn into nothing as well, but they just can't.
Havelock is going to towards them, but not at them.
You're going to
And
what?
I'm gonna throw my sighting through the water towards them, but not at them.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
Ah, no.
Feel that.
That's gonna be a 30.
Go ahead and roll damage.
God,
It's not throwing
Yeah.
it at them.
No, no,
specifically
Literally said
you-
not to.
no. Let me describe what happens. Because Havelock steps out onto the edge of the craft and decides to throw his spear down through the water towards the smaller one. But in doing so, the spear passes through the older sibling that had turned into mist.
He turned invisible!
He had turned into mist, and with the magic of your trident, actually does slash through him for how much damage?
Ugh.
Okay.
Alright, Havelock's
What is the
gonna have to
distance
turn
we
into
are?
the villain right now. 8
Well, I
damage.
mean,
Okay.
I can cast stuff at 120 foot, so I assume we were around that.
Yeah, I'll say that you guys are like 60 feet away from the floor and this child. But this guy was like 10 feet from you. And so he turns solid again as you slash against him. And it just sort of like grazes his shoulder. But he snaps back into his physical form. And it's at this point that he looks at you and he bares his fangs and his eyes glow red and he hisses.
Havelock's gonna teleport to
Underwater
the spear and
vampires?
him in the eyes.
Havelock, you teleport down to the smaller child?
Where's the spear compared to?
Yeah, the spear like continued onwards to the ground. So that's where you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Sierra, make a wisdom saving throw.
Great, you left him for me.
Sirens, maybe?
16.
This is a fear. If you have anything for that.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
I think you do if you're a larger, if you like change your size, but you're normal, medium sized right now, so.
No, it doesn't affect that.
No, okay.
Yeah, I can. I have some disadvantages. What I can see it, and I can move, willingly move closer.
So what did you get for your wisdom save?
16.
16. Okay, you are afraid of Noah as he flashes his red eyes at you and then just continues swimming past you and back out the way that you guys came in. He is fleeing. He's running away. He wants nothing to do with this. And he's just like cussing the entire time like, I'm going to get in so much trouble. And he's just leaving his younger brother behind.
That's messed up.
And then Freddy, Havelock, yeah, you appear right next to him.
Oh.
Havelock, make a wisdom saving throw.
That's gonna be 11, but I'm gonna use an auto.
Okay,
Oh,
you are
21.
not afraid of him then.
Havelock's just gonna be like staring him in the eyes. Who am I? Am I beside the brother or older brother?
I mean, they're both brothers. You're against the younger one on the ground because he wasn't able to turn into mist. But now that you are next to him, you can see that he does have black hair that is swept back in a widow's peak and pointed teeth and blood red eyes.
Alright, well, I'm gonna counter his pointed teeth and I'm gonna open up my mouth that way he can see all my pointed teeth.
He kind of stumbles backwards and falls onto his butt and he says, "No, don't eat me, please."
I'm gonna resist the urge to say out loud. This is out of Kilithor. I was gonna say, wonder what he tastes like.
There's only one way to find out.
I'm not eating the kid. Maybe later.
No.
Shut up, you're not the boss of me.
I'm just like knocking on the sub's window. And I'm like, Johnny, I think that was your cousin.
Havelock is going to move his spear to where the handle's pointed towards the kid. And he's gonna like reach it out towards the kid so the kid could grab it.
As soon as you gesture towards him, he just immediately backs up. He's like, "No, wait. You're one of them. That's impossible. You're supposed to be dead." And there's
You know,
like
I've thought
tears
that
in
a
his
lot
eyes, and he's looking at you in absolute terror.
A smile's like slowly growing on his face. It's been a while since someone's actually been afraid of me. Traveling with those idiots is pretty dumb if I'm being honest, but hey. Is he like speaking like common language or is he
Yeah.
speaking like... Okay, so he is speaking common, so I can just talk to him. Gonna close my mouth. That way he can't really see the teeth anymore.
But he recognizes your race
Which is...
and says
wouldn't
that
really
you're all
say it's-
supposed to be dead.
So something tells me he might be a part of the race that killed my race. Alright, and kill it this time. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
what's
I'm
everyone
supposed to
doing?
I'm supposed to be... No, my people are supposed to be dead. They, for the most part, are.
I'm stuck inside of the ship.
Yeah, but you can
Can't
go
talk
like
no
right up
more.
to him if you want.
Oh yeah, I'm still making my way over to him, but
Yeah, you could have
So
like
my-
swim up at this point. You got a movement speed of
Havelock's-
40.
Havelock's just gonna like look at
yeah,
the.
they were 120 feet away.
Havelock's just gonna like look at the small kid. So what are you and what are you doing down here?
Make a persuasion check.
That ain't a good thing for a guy who has nothing to charisma.
You can do intimidation if you would rather.
Let me see which one's better. +0 and a +0. I'm gonna go with charisma. That's a 19.
Please, I'll tell you anything. Just don't hurt me, please. You have to promise me, okay?
Havelock like tosses his spear aside. Fine.
I didn't mean to. I didn't think the stories were real. Noah said he was
And
gonna
what-
prove it to me.
What stories would that be?
You can see that he like wipes the tears from his face and they just sort of drift up and hang in the air. And
So,
Havelock,
this
you can tell
definitely
that
isn't
you're in that like primordial water that is like something in between air and water.
Havelock just like brushes his. Let's.
And
Anyway,
yeah,
back to
basically
the
you
kid.
can ask him anything and he'll tell, you know.
So what are these stories you're talking?
You guys, the Orkin, you're supposed to be dead. Have you come back to kill us all?
Probably not. Then again. Maybe. Anyways. It all really depends on some things, but for now, no.
If by this time we've rocked up in the squid shit.
Easy enough.
Havelock looks to the
hey.
side, just staring at the ship.
Hey, kid, have you heard of a vault anywhere nearby? And or how to open it?
He kind of looks a bit startled. I mean, I don't really know. Actually, let me roll. Yeah, he doesn't know. Basically he knows that this city down here got completely razed. It ransacked and everything of value was taken, except for this place down here. This place, you call it Limbo or something. It's a connection to the other world and secrets we couldn't unlock, so we left the warlords here, the Baraki, and while their services were necessary during the revolution and the destruction of the, and he looks at Havelock with a cross between disdain and fear, as he says, he's like trying to think of a word that's not going to insult you or make you feel attacked, and I think he just says enemies. They were,
That's probably the best answer he could have given.
yeah. They were great warriors, but their bloodlust was too much, and so they were kept down here, and as punishment they were chained down here, unable to die. And he kind of glances at them. But
Oh, that sucks for them.
maybe
You mean
they
to
are
tell me
dead?
that those...
So, what's your deal? Are you guys underwater vampire colony or something?
While Hogio talks to the kid, can I swim
You want to swim where?
up to the 3 dead bodies?
There's 8.
6. 8.
There's 8?
Yes.
I thought it was 6 bodies plus 2 people, and one of them swam away.
No. Oh, there's 8 pillars and there's 6 bodies.
Ah, gotcha.
Havelock
Uh,
looks
not
at Hogio.
including the
I'm gonna
2
go
kids.
investigate that.
Okay.
You keep an eye on the kid, and Havelock is gonna swim up to the nearest pillar.
Okay.
Is there anything that catches my eye or anything?
I mean, basically this chamber is basically void everywhere you look. There's a ceiling and a floor, and then the only thing in this place that you guys can see at the moment is this circular dais, and around the edges of it you can see that there is 8 sort of craggy pillars kind of come up. They just sort of look carved, just straight of stone, and there does seem to be like some sort of surface inside of the circle that you don't necessarily understand. It kind of just looks like sand, but like incredibly fine sand.
It's that high quality sand.
Yeah, I don't think Havelock would know much about this. Well, he can make a history check, I suppose, if he wants to.
I'm gonna just use an auto 20.
Okay. I will say that with an auto 20, you would know that this this place down here is one of the earliest monuments, and this is how, I guess for lack of a better term, is sort of like a teleportation / transmutation circle where beings from other realms of existence would be able to come here or leave. And your people just sort of understood that, but never really used or controlled it. They just knew that that's sort of what happened, how it worked.
Well, we didn't really have any reason. Alright, can I go up to one of the bodies?
Say that again?
Can I be up right next to one of the bodies?
Yeah.
What's the
Well, who's
body I'm
doing-
next to looks like?
What?
What's the body I'm next to look like?
It's it kind of looks like, here, if you want to give me a sec, I can give you a picture.
Take your time. Big question. There any meat on these things, Bones?
Not really. The problem is that all of their bodies no longer have real semblances. All of their bodies have been basically transmuted into different types of material.
Well, there goes me having a little snack.
Snacking on the warlords.
Hey, they killed my people. I'm hungry.
You killed your people or they are your people?
Well, considering the fact the kid said that these guys were part of the people that killed my people, I'm pretty sure these people killed a lot of my people.
Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
Little payback, you know?
Oh, by the way, Havelock. Can you look at that compass and see which way it's pointing?
It's in the ship.
As soon as you guys came down here, it's just spinning wildly.
Gotcha.
Actually, I think you've unattuned because you've made it.
Oh, okay.
So the creature that you have gone up right next to, Havelock, is sort of like almost an insectoid type creature. You can't really tell if what it's made of is carapace or just skeleton, because you can see like tiny bits of what would be flesh just sort of in the joints, but you can also see that what makes up the majority of their sort of limbs is this sort of dark flesh that sort of coats their torso and has sort of like spread out and wrapped around the rest of its form, where it has this sort of like white, scaly, bony sort of appendages, basically.
I like to like touch the dorkish flesh kind of thing.
Okay. As you do so, it feels unbelievably cold. And then its eyes flash open, and then its pupils narrow as it like tries to focus on you, and then you hear cracks and snaps as its form begins to move.
Ah, they all still. Havelock's
back.
Well, yes, I am back, technically. It seems you've seen better days, huh? Havelock's like looking it up and down.
How long has it been?
Havelock would think to himself, thousands? Tens of thousands? Then just look him in the eye. Let's just say a lot longer than a normal lifespan would be.
You can see that it's like face contorts. It's angry.
Havelock's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Ask
By
it if it's seen
it
one
said-
of those spears.
It said bye to me?
No, it said why.
I can't exactly tell you how long it's been because of the fact that I haven't.
I think he's asking why you came back.
Let's just say good old-fashioned investigation.
Why didn't you save us?
Oh no. When it comes down to it, if I attempted to save anyone, I'd be similar to you right now.
You can see it like starts to move, and you can hear the various snaps and pops of its exoskeleton as it starts to shake itself. It's like vibrating and trying to move, and you can tell that its limbs have atrophied so much that it's trying to come back into consciousness and
Does this thing
undeath.
look like Havelock at all?
No. It does not look like Havelock at all.
Why the hell would it be asking if you saved it?
You were sent away to save your people.
Havelock like looks down, a sad expression on his face. You would be correct.
You can see it like starts to put its weight on itself and try to stand, but it's halted by several chains binding it to this rock.
I'd like to cut off the chains.
Okay. You would free me now? You watch as it like it's sort of like got this praying mantis type body, and it moves forward and just sort of balance itself on its front two limbs.
I was unable to in the past.
Your
For that I
people
apologize.
are lost. There is nothing for you to save here.
You're not wrong when you say that. Everyone I know is long dead. Chances of any one of my people being left is nothing. When I die, my species will finally be gone. But that does not mean that I have to look a warrior that did amazing in battle in the face and leave him sane here forever.
Make a persuasion check.
That, my friend, is a natural 20.
Did you use another one?
No, it just rolled a natural 20.
Oh, wow. Okay. It looks like it's ready to, like, give a one-liner like, then you will join your dead people or something. Like, it looks like it's about to launch an attack on you, knowing that it's just going to be a battle of attrition since it can't die. And then it just kind of sighs. Why are you here if you did not come to save your people?
I knew when I started from here. There's no way for me to save anyone. We've come to collect, to put it simply. Well, I'm not able to save my home. But with those people, and he points over the sub, I'll be able to save more. Once that's done, I guess I'll die. Join my family in the afterlife. If there is one, anyways.
It's just sort of glaring at you.
Havelock's just like Lex eyes. If you have a problem with us doing this, you're welcome to say something. Judging by the way your body is, the likelihood of me being able to kill you is 0. But the likelihood of you being able to kill me and Havelock like leans in is also about 0. Again, I would have loved to fight you when you were back normal. A warrior spirit, you know?
Have you come to gloat then?
No. If anything, you should be the one gloating. You guys won. You killed us all.
My brethren were overwhelmed. Their undead army destroyed us, chained us, and turned us into what we hated most. Abominable creatures like you. Unable to even die, we were trapped out here for eternity. There is no hope. You would be unable to defeat them.
You cut out, Sparrow.
You'll be unable to defeat them.
Havelock would just shake his head and like slowly go away. I've not come to kill them. I've come for a different reason. You may do as you please. With the way your body is, you'll be able to move a bit. I wonder if you'll be able to escape this place. Maybe you'll free the other 7 of you. Maybe they'll attack me. Maybe they won't. Who knows? It would be interesting to find out, don't you think? You slaughtered my people without any fear. You enjoyed it more than likely. And I won't lie, I enjoyed killing few of you when I was in that fight. But now, the fight's over. I have no wish to go up against you now. You may do as you please. I simply ask that you stay out of our way while we do what we want.
And what is it that you plan to do now?
Havelock holds out his golden spear. I'm looking to collect more things like...
Jeez. Again, I did not imagine it to go this way. I was like, he'll say something and then we'll go into initiative, but...
If you want, we can still fight him.
I
What are we gonna do against an immortal?
I didn't say we were gonna kill him. I said we were gonna fight him.
Make a
Well,
persuasion
person, or-
check.
Talking to me?
Yes.
Alright, come on. Come on, dice, give me that another nat 20. That's a 6. I'd like to use an auto 20.
All right.
Man, I'm using up all my auto 20s today, huh?
If you free my brethren, we would very much like to get our revenge on the surface dwellers.
Havelock thinks for a moment. But then, like, an evil smoke pops on his face and he tosses his spear. Use that to free your brethren.
It holds up, like the massive, again, because it's got like praying mantis arms, so it has to like bend back, awkwardly. But you see, like at the very end of its like scythe arm, you can see like two little, like fingers that just sort of hold it, like catching it like chopsticks, and it like looks at it longingly, lustfully, and then it turns and looks at you as if to say, you have no idea what you've just done. But then it turns and it strikes at the chains of their allies, and it frees it frees 3 more, leaving 2 behind. You can see that the 2 that he leaves behind is like one that almost looks sort of goopy, like it's actually just like a jellyfish sort of thing, but like its entire body is the jelly part, with just sort of like the tendrils coming out like hair or whatnot. And then the other one that it leaves behind is like coral. And it says,
We will have to leave some behind, or their hunger will be unsatiated.
and rising up to stand next to their ally is 3 more figures. And one of them looks to be almost like a full octopus person. One kind of looks like a white shark. And then one of them just sort of looks like a sort of strange...
Some funky bionicle people.
Yes, they are bionicles, thank you. They are exactly bionicles.
I love that series. Just watch the movies again.
Half of the lore in all of my stories is bionicle.
I know.
What the heck's bionicle?
Alright.
I hope you stub your pinky toe.
I hope you step on a
I-
bionicle.
What the fuck's a bionicle?
You didn't
It's
have
a
good
it's a
childhood,
Lego.
did you?
It's a Lego thing.
I mean, I didn't
Anywho.
really watch TV when I was younger.
It's not even TV, it's a game. It's a toy. Anywho.
Oh, it is.
They say that you guys need to leave soon, otherwise the creatures of the void will come back to feast on these bodies, and it's only the Baraki that were granted undeath that were allowed to survive this long. Since you guys are mortal, you will be surely feasted upon and rendered completely dead.
Alright. Well, Havelock's gonna have his spear teleport back to him.
The yeah. So you guys just start getting out of there?
Well,
Yeah,
Do we
Havelock's gonna
get more
swim back.
spears?
I'd
Did we not-
recommend we.
Child.
Grab the kid. We gotta go.
The kid is like whimpering and is just a blubbering mess at this point. He's like, I just want to go home.
Alright, Havelock's gonna like pick him up and put him on his shoulder. Alright, let's get going.
Wait,
Yeah, there's just like a bunch of like monstrous beings that are like just having casual conversation.
Do you think this would be a good time for Joshua to jump on in?
Yes, I was gonna say that as you guys are turning to leave, you can hear the sounds of explosions and fire, and you look off in the distance to one of the sides. In amongst the darkness, you can see flashes of light as a battle is going on.
That
And-
foolish warrior. I told him he should not explore into the depths, but he didn't listen.
Havelock's gonna put the kid aboard the ship and just start swimming towards the explosions.
And
Well,
you can
as-
see like swaths of fire spread out in the darkness.
Well, this is
Yeah, and
new.
it has a very familiar. No wait, Havelock, were you a part of the original?
No.
Hell no.
No.
If anything, I'm just a hired bodyguard at this point.
The only original player that we have is Holger.
Okay.
But, oh,
Okay.
man.
Holger and Joshua were here at session 0.
Yeah.
In a minute.
The OGs. The OGs.
Wonder what you both taste like.
Alright.
Joshua tastes spicy. bit of
Holger,
meat.
you
Ooh,
sound
my favorite.
you hear the sounds of familiar roar of combat and jovial haughtiness that only comes from a very specific fire genasi that you know.
Well, can't deny that. Turn the ship and head towards the fire.
Okay.
Can't ignore that.
I'm going to knock on like Olga's window and be like, did those guys that put chains say something about taking revenge upon the surface dwellers? Isn't like your family there?
Who cares?
My family doesn't live on the coast. Besides, we're going back in time very, very soon.
I mean, to be fair,
Not
these
to
guys
mention-
aren't caught up with what's happened to the rest of the story. Like what's gone with everything and whatnot.
They simply know that it's been a long bit of time, and one of the people that they fought years ago appeared,
Yeah.
and now they're free. So, surface dwellers to them could mean completely different stuff compared to what it is now. Not to mention, I don't think
True.
like full to sit skeletons are gonna be able to do much, even if they are immortal.
I think the concept of surface is still the same. Maybe not be the same people, but if they're going to like unleash the wrath of like surface dwellers, it's going to be
And
even worse.
racism.
Yes, I'm wondering why they did that in the first place.
Simple. I want to fight them again later.
Why don't you just
Um,
fight them now?
They're weak. That's like if I walk up to a kid and punch him in the face.
And you wish to feed their strength with the blood of the innocent that they presumably are going to go kill now?
Havelock just like looks at Hogio. Yes.
Alright, this addict for combat.
Krika, the white bony Baraki tells you
We had the aid of an army to take over this realm here and destroy the Orokin. But once the battle was over, the blood drinkers needed a place to hide them. And so, they were left down here with us.
Which one are you saying said that?
The white bony one, the original one that you talked to.
Oh,
He's kind of like the impromptu leader.
I kind of feel bad for the Jellyfish dude getting left behind.
I mean, the situation is that there is an undead army down here that was left to feast upon the bones of the undead Baraki in order to keep them satiated from returning to the surface. That was basically their punishment. Yes. So there is like 1,000 undead soldiers down here that Joshua is currently just like blasting away with fire, just trying to keep them away from him at this point. I think you probably like created like a bunch of fire barriers, but they're just like climbing over the top of each other. Imagine like the scary zombie movies where the zombies are actually fast and they're stupid and they're just climbing over the top of each other and not stopping.
Yeah, it's just World War Z.
Yeah, it's World War Z, and Joshua is just standing on a big rock, shooting primordial fire everywhere, saying
Useful for cooking
bad,
things.
saying bad action lines.
I should steal that ability.
Yeah, he's saying things like, "Looks like things are heating up."
Exactly.
Oh no, he's making
Exactly.
puns.
I follow the sound of terrible puns.
He vaporizes a skeleton and says, "Looks like you need a cool off."
No, it's Sparrow as a kill with the.
He's the one that
I
said
thought
he was
I was
making
better.
bad action lines.
Yeah, but you're the one that always makes crappy puns.
Joshua shoots one of the undead guys and says,
Time for you to
"Now
sleep
stop
with the
throwing
fishes.
power."
I
Fish
feel
dude.
attacked with that one. How dare you call me a fish?
And I think at this point, I'm not gonna make you guys roll initiative because this isn't going to be typical combat. I mean, unless you want to kill an numerous amount of undead. I think this is just sort of going to be like an escape. So you guys tell me what you want to do.
That's gonna be a lot of XP.
Yes.
Can Joshua spot the other characters yet, or is it just?
Yeah, you
do
can
free
see
action?
this sort of like yeah, it just sort of looks like a lobster is like swimming over towards you. But as it gets to you, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you can see that it's like kind of mechanical, and there's like glowing runes on the side. And there's like a cockpit in the head, and you can see Holgear.
Yeah, Holgear's waving. We've got dancing lights all around.
Havelock's just like walking.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about dancing lights.
Holgear's the one in the lobster net, correct?
I'm in the cockpit. I'm the pilot.
Oh, he's in the cockpit. My bad.
The Baraki are just leaving. They're just going out the entrance. They're not going to help you fight. They're going straight up to kill the vampires, the blood drinkers as they call them.
Good revenge.
Well, yeah. Is that good or bad?
Screw you, Sonic.
Oh yeah, Johnny, were you inside or outside of the craft? I forget. You were inside, right?
Me and Sierra are the only ones outside.
Okay, yeah, so then they wouldn't have seen Johnny.
I don't even hear
So
these
could
audio
I
files.
just like have? Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can go.
No, I'm just asking if John is actually here.
Oh,
Oh, Johnny, are you here? We can't hear you, bud.
I don't think I've heard him. Why? Johnny.
You think they fell asleep again?
It's entirely
shit.
possible. Then again, I haven't heard him say anything since he forced join. When he said hi.
Perhaps he might have just.
I'm gonna
Fallen
disconnect him for now, and so.
If he pops back up, then he's. We'll just
Yes,
say
then he's
inside
active.
the
Then
sub
we know he's
sleeping.
active.
Okay, could I
My
catch
storytelling
a
voice was
ride
too
on
soothing.
Drew? Your
What were
voice
you
is
saying?
really soothing.
Still,
Can
you
I
do have a
catch
nice
ride
voice.
on- Who is screaming?
That was Havelock talking.
The
Joshua,
people
go.
in my basement.
Sounds like your basement is literal hell.
Don't worry about that.
Yes. Yes. Could I grab a ride on the lobster mech? I assume it's just doing a quick swim by.
If Hogear wants to try and get that close,
I'll get within 60 foot.
okay.
Yeah, within 60 foot, and then I'll use telekinesis to bring him over.
Yeah, you push him forward, stretch this side, and we just make these like big noodle to reach him.
Okay. As you like maneuver to a stop, Holgear, you can immediately see that there are like shadows underneath of you, as zombies are just immediately starting to pile up, frantically crawling up to you. How much does telekinesis do?
It's 60 foot. I can move an object that weighs up to 1,000 pounds, or a creature. You can try and move a creature huge or smaller. Make an ability check with your spellcasting, contested with a strength check. If you win the contest, move the creature up 30 feet in any direction, including upward, but not beyond the range of the spell.
Okay.
So, if possible, I'd like to just latch onto him and then just start raising 30 foot at a time.
Okay. Yeah, so
Just so
you're
that
basically
way,
catching in a tractor beam?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Swim one out of here.
As
I'm
Joshua
gonna say that you're
used
gonna
the-
be able to do this, but someone else is going to have to drive. And I'll say that it can be Johnny. How about that?
Yep, let's just have Zani driving.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
why
just
he
bring them to us.
Just because it probably does take somatic components to do this, I assume.
Verbal and somatic, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
As soon as Joshua feels the tug of telekinesis, he just kind of bows and says to the encroaching creatures, "Today is the day you almost caught Captain Joshua." And he just leaves being stuck by the tractor beam, so to say.
Cringe. Cringe.
Fantastic! You can't stop me.
Joshua, take 17 points of necrotic damage.
Yo,
just
what?
because you said that, I was like, and one zombie lashes out and tries to grab you, and I rolled a crit.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Batman slapped you on your way out.
Also, make a Constitution saving throw.
You're
Oh
mid
man, I gotta do a con.
This is the day you almost, and he slaps you, shutting you up.
No, I finished it. I just got caught. Oh, I rolled a 12. Also, that was 17 damage.
Sure. I don't remember what I said.
He
17.
did say 17.
Okay.
Alrighty.
1,000.
So you got a 12?
Yes, I rolled a 12.
Okay. As this a skeletal hand reaches out and just sort of scratches against your hand as you were going for the bow, you feel the caustic poison start to seep into your body, and you feel your arms start to stiffen and turn almost
Gangrenous?
Yes, gangrenous. And it stops moving against your will. And you can feel the effects of rigor mortis starting to take hold of your body.
Wow. This just got really terrifying.
Yes. Also,
Joshua shows up and dies immediately.
your
Oh my God.
obsidian golem is just like punching away zombies as it's like trying to keep up with all of you. But now that you're not there helping it, it immediately gets swallowed by all the zombies. And it's not being eaten because it's an elemental, but it is unable to keep up with you guys as you're moving away.
I'm gonna cast the ward pool around it.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's. Oh, actually, let me roll for the guy too. Okay, yeah. You summon a whirlpool around this obsidian elemental, and immediately all of the zombies just sort of go splatting against each other and get knocked away for just a brief moment. And it kind of just starts running after you guys, and as long as you keep the whirlpool on it, it is able to keep the zombies away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have the ward pool around it.
Okay.
Making sure.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to extend from the lobster arms to get to Joshua.
Okay. Both of you make athletics or acrobatics checks.
That's 22.
Joshua?
Yeah, Joshua is just gonna look worriedly down at his golem, but also thank whoever
Okay.
is doing war with his mind.
Yes, you just extend your tail and wrap around him and begin pulling him back in. And you can see that his left side is starting to turn colors, and his skin is starting to slough off.
Ugh.
I would have tried to use 5 points on Leonard to procure things or destroy like the poison.
Oh!
Are you sure that wasn't a figure of death spell? Jesus.
Can I have that poison, please? I'm thirsty.
Joshua just offers his arm to the guy and say, try to be quick.
Yeah.
So you can use 5 points to remove what now?
Cure disease or neutralize a poison.
Okay. I'll say that if you use 10, you can not only stop the thing, but also reverse it. How about that?
Sure.
Okay.
No, let me eat it.
Joshua, your arm is back to normal.
Sad Havelock face.
He kind of just whittles his arm and says, thank you.
That was my trigger finger.
Oh yeah. That was technically Joshua's Trigger. Okay. So. The left hand.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you guys are making your way back towards the hole in the ceiling. How are you guys going to try and scoop up the golem that is still pretty much in the horde of zombies chasing after you guys?
I'd
I
like
figured
to
that was-
make my ward pull him up.
If
I'm
that
gonna
doesn't
say
work,
it's
I was-
unable to do that. What were you gonna say, Holger?
I was just gonna bring Joshua to the ship and then pick it up, and then just go from there.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
You can pull Joshua up to the ship if you guys do slow down for even a moment. The zombies are gonna pile up and get up onto your ship.
Wait, didn't I just brought Joshua to the ship?
Yes, Joshua's on the ship.
Okay, bringing his golem to the ship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had
the
he had a
golem.
golem with him. You have a golem that you need to save. So what are you guys doing?
Screw it, I'm
Well-
casting minor illusion.
What?
Minor illusion of.
I'm going to make a minor illusion of like a. You know what? I'm gonna do a minor illusion of Freddy.
Oh,
And just put it near the zombie horde. That way the zombies, like, some of them run over the Freddy illusion.
Okay. Here's what's great about that is because minor illusion just creates like a small illusion, so it literally makes like a chibi doll of Freddy just sitting. None of the zombies notice it and just continue running and just sort of trample over it, and it has no other effect than that.
Damn it!
But you did it.
So
I
is it not
managed to
within
do one
60
for
foot
once.
of the ship?
You guys are like 60 feet above the ground.
Yeah, is it not keeping pace underneath us?
It's
maybe
it's
I
in
got-
amongst the horde. So and the horde is actually faster. The horde has a speed of 50 feet. You have a speed of 40 feet, and the golem has a speed of 30 feet. So it's actually slower than you and the horde.
Can't you just pick it up with telekinesis again?
That's what I was asking, but apparently no.
Wait. Oh, I didn't know that that's what you were trying to say. I thought you were talking about like swooping the ship down towards it.
No, I was just gonna pick it up with telekinesis and bring it up to the ship.
Okay, yes, you can do that again. Sierra, make another athletics check.
and that's a 35.
Okay, yes, you also grapple the golem. Now that you guys have so many people outside, it is a little bit difficult to try and maneuver the vehicle. So I think Johnny's like, I'm having trouble steering this thing now that there's so much oblong weight that's shifting around on outside.
Shut up and just do
But he starts steering back up towards the hole in the ceiling and away from the horde.
I'm just gonna have
Joshua
the ward
says-
like making sure the zombies can't climb up so that I get.
They do start like making a pyramid up after you guys.
Can I just have the ward pool like block out them something?
Can I just leave behind a big ball?
Not leaving the golem.
No, I'm talking about like an explosive, a big ball of like wrapped.
Sure. I mean, there's also some like debris that's caught in the tunnel that you can try and like knock down to knock the pyramid down, or maybe try to close up the gate
Oh,
or
I was
something.
thinking
I
of
don't
just
know.
I was just thinking of collapsing the hole once we leave with like a big explosion of.
I think I know
favorite things.
something I can do.
You could probably try to blow up the top of the hole and have more stuff fall into the bottom, but you also don't know if it would just like fall through.
Hey, Spill, I still got some of those ice arrows, don't I?
Yes.
Oh, yep, I have 9.
Ooh. You are clever.
They do work against individual targets.
All we need to do is shoot at one of the boulders once we pass them.
that's
Joshua
gonna-
blow up the
That's gonna be the
wall.
plan. Let's move, people.
The boulders fall. Havelock throws the boulders, stealing them.
My immediate thought was like, oh, if you give one of the ice arrows to Bell F, they'll learn how to make them, and so he can make more.
I mean, I'm gonna keep one for later so they can do that, but right now we're doing something else.
Wait, you're playing 2 characters?
No, Bell is from the Friday campaign.
Oh, not bad.
It's a
My bad.
stupid joke. Don't worry.
Okay, so you guys start like, you go up to the hole in the ceiling and start maneuvering around all the debris that's sort of blocking the entrance, and the zombies are starting to make a pyramid. They're not near the ceiling yet. I'll say that they're about like, they're 100 feet away from the ceiling, so you guys got some time. Or if you just want to try and get away and they'll give up and then go back to the other 2 Baraki that were left behind.
I mean, once we're up above the hole in the ceiling, then I'll definitely put down the golem and use telekinesis the rest of the way. It lasts 10 minutes.
Oh, Sierra grabbed him already.
Oh, nice. In that case,
Is
yeah, I'll
it-
just...
Is it possible
Yeah.
for me to use Thunderclap to knock some of them down?
If you go outside, you can.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Every
Yeah.
time you do this, dying on team, Freddy.
Freddy, go ahead and,
I think it's unsafe for the zombies.
I think I'm gonna make Freddy make an athletics check to hold on. Just because everyone else kind of had a way to be able to hold on, except for Freddy.
Alright.
I got a 12.
Okay. That's enough. The craft isn't shaking that much. And you release a bolt of lightning, and actually no, you're doing thunderclap, right?
Yes.
Okay. So do I make a save for that, or do you roll an attack for that? I forget.
It's a unsafe.
Okay.
It's a Constitution saving.
So Freddy just sort of like unhinges his mouth and goes, "Wee!" And the shockwave echoes throughout the chamber, and all of the zombies just sort of collapse, and like the big pyramid sort of tumbles and collapses back in on itself.
Joshua is very impressed.
One of the zombies just sort of like flips you the hook as he falls down and says, "Cringe, bro."
Classic zombie
Zombies
behavior.
are in-
Classic
Well,
zombies.
they are
Flipping us
toxic.
the hook. Wonder what they taste like.
Gosh dang it.
Death.
I will have my
Pancake
sword.
blueberries
I
and
kind of
wonderful
want one of those zombies.
What?
You just keep it as a butler.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it as emergency food.
Paimon?
That's what I'm doing with Freddy right now. If he ever dies, he's gonna be the first on the snack list.
I call his internal organs.
I get everything. You
Aw.
get to watch.
Joshua, if I die, you could study my body. Don't let
Covers
Havelock
Freddy's
anywhere
mouth.
near me.
Covers Freddy's mouth. Shut up, you.
I want. Let me throw him. Let me throw Havelock. Let me throw Havelock.
If you kill me right now, I'm gonna haunt you. This is the perfect place for my spirit to haunt you, Freddy. This is my homeland, boy.
Get it back on tap.
No,
I
this.
can back on path.
You guys have some time to talk amongst yourselves as you're climbing back up. So continue, please. Make some introductions.
Joshua kind of looks at everybody and bows to them, saying, "Thank you for acting as my saviors. My name is Joshua. Although one of you already know that." He walks over the whole year, giving him a hug.
Gives him a big hug back. It's been too long.
Havelock's outside the ship.
How is
With the
Gorthalax?
windshield.
Sorry, people were over talking. What?
How is Gorthalax? Gives you a big hug back.
Yeah. Just kind of a bro hug. He says, Gorthalax is doing quite fine.
Does he know why the gods are going to disappear in a little while?
Unfortunately, no, as he is just as ignorant as anybody else.
That's
Why do you think I'm here?
Well, I'm not going to lie, it's very surprising to see you. Were you down there looking for a spear made of solid gold too? Speaking of which,
Why-
Havelock, did you get what we needed?
Havelock's outside the ship, just looking through the windshield, staring at all of you.
Like a
Pass
kid
the
looking at an
message.
aquarium.
Casts a message. Did you get what we needed from the quote unquote vault?
He would just.
The small vampire child that you kidnapped says, "Oh, they took everything out of the vault up into the floating city."
Why didn't you say that when I asked the first time?
You didn't ask.
Well,
Yeah, we did.
We asked specifically.
Where's the vault?
yes, you didn't ask where's the stuff that was in the vault.
Wait, are you telling me that
Hogia, we were
those-
just in the vault.
You're telling me that those highly valuable weapons were just like hanging around that massive room?
Well, yeah, there were a lot.
There used to be. That is where the deities would commune with the mortal beings and give them things and weapons of power and whatnot, but it is empty now.
No gods, no weapons. All that's left is the dead.
Also, I just want to say that I'm really upset that Johnny's not here because we're learning about one of the biggest plot devices, which is something that you guys shared earlier that was scuba vampires. Because they don't need to breathe and they actually want to avoid the sunlight. So they are the
Oh
perfect
my
race to
God.
to invade an underwater city.
know what? Now this makes all sense. Zani's people murdered my people. Alright, Zani's a dead man.
No,
Either
no.
that. No. They murdered the people that murdered your people. They are your avenger.
No, they hired the people that murdered my people and then murdered those because that they were
Can
more
we
than like
please
vampires.
not do any racial grudges?
Yeah,
Were
can
you
stop
even
pointing
there?
That's
fingers?
the whole point of my Killathorn.
They're trying
Bro,
to figure
were
out
you
the
even
story.
there?
That's the whole point of my Killathorn. The whole thing is, oh, I lived during a time where racism was pretty much the most common thing possible.
Oh well, Joshua's super. No. No, I'm sorry.
You good?
Since he's not here, I actually think I can reveal it to you guys. The part of Johnny's backstory that he gave me when he first joined the campaign was that he had one parent who was a human, one parent who was a vampire, and they were at odds with each other because the vampires were invading and whatnot, but they fell in love, like a Romeo and Juliet sort of story. And the last memory that he had was their house being burned and he running away from there. And Holgear, you would know of a time where the world was reduced in fire because of some meddling that happened, where it caused the world to be separated from the Feywild and everything because of a big fire, which is also how you met Mai. That's how you met Mai, yes. Because she was separated from her mother because of the fire.
Getting some deep cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, turning to the small child, where is this floating city of yours?
He just takes a trembling finger and points up.
Of course, it's in the sky. Why can't it just be like an island?
If it was easy, it wouldn't be fun.
Well, you
And
are
by-
underwater.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is less like, Bioshock Infinite, more, Subnautica floating islands.
Well,
Those were both good examples. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, that's exactly what we think of when we think floating cities. We just gotta think
Holgear,
underwater vampires.
just take an egg point.
Let's
Wait a minute, in
go.
floating cities, Bioshock's also a good example.
It's not exactly
Bioshock
floating.
Infinite's entire thing is a floating city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
did
we're already
not
at the
like
seafloor and they're
Bioshock
not here.
No! Bioshock Infinite and Bioshock are completely different. One's underwater, the other's a floating city. It adds to a floating city. It's shown to be a floating city.
Yeah.
Separated from
Yeah, floats
America.
on,
And everyone
yeah,
in
floats
those
on
races.
cloud.
Well, somehow
there's
they
two-
managed to get like stable particles in a fixed point space.
Yeah, and somehow they
That's
managed
the
to
cool
hop
part.
dimensions. It's a very weird thing of Bioshock, and I love that game. Continue.
I'm just imagining year 2 characters talking about Bioshock.
Yes, it's a canon thing. This
I
this
love
whole
that book
conversation's
series.
in Kyoto. Ah, yeah, I know, right? It's an
Millions of years ago, when my people were alive, Bioshock was a thing.
Exactly.
Anywho,
They even got the movie.
Wait, there was a movie?
There was planned to be a movie. It fell
Oh,
through.
thank. I was about to say that movie part.
Apparently the script was okay, but not the best.
What's
Anywho.
Getting back on track.
as you guys are moving upwards through the tunnel, making your way around the debris that fills this chamber, eventually get out to the open area where you can see the large chamber of the mountain up top, and you hear something, the sound of rushing water. And it's at this point that you realize that there's actually water rushing in, and it's starting to swirl around in the tunnel that you're in. And it's starting to come down towards you guys as you're making your way up against the wall.
Wait,
Oh no.
This is where the ocean went, but where is it going?
And
It's going
Yeah,
like
like,
as
the ether?
there was a portal down there.
Yes, but no
Yeah.
one knows how to activate. Havelock would.
As the
Some kind of
Usul
idea,
hugs
but-
against the wall of this tunnel, the rampaging water rushes past, and I'm not going to make anyone make any checks because I just don't want to have to deal with that. But the water rushes past you all, and you watch as it spirals down, draining downwards into the world below.
So one of the gods is flushed.
Yes, the ocean has been flushed down the drain back towards whence you came. And then you guys crest the edge of this tunnel and make your way up onto the seafloor. And that's when you can see the other Baraki have gathered themselves up. They're like reassembling themselves off the floor. You get the idea that they were swimming up, and then the water just sort of slammed them back down into the ground. And they turn and look at you, and they like motion upwards towards the complete darkness that is the sky, because there's no sun or anything anymore. The only light is coming from the Usul.
We've
the
gone
Ogier's
full
dragon.
drain.
Yes. Oh, I keep forgetting that you have your dancing lights out. But yes, you hear the sound of rushing wind, and they say,
We should take shelter inside of the mountain.
and they run back inside. And I think they just kind of like brace themselves up against a rock as the sound of something comes crashing down.
Yeah, I guess
It's the island,
city.
isn't it?
Yeah, the floating city is not that floating anymore.
That's bad.
Good news, guys. We found the city.
Now we get to pick through another ruin. Yay!
Hooray! The people that killed my people all dead now. High five.
Well,
Does
I
anybody
think we-
have an archaeology degree?
No.
No, but I am sewing inside the car.
I guess we don't have to witness those guys murder a bunch of vampires. They will just die from the fall.
Damn it.
And that is when you are all illuminated in light, as several beams of light start shining down and wafting back and forth like searchlights. And then you see other bursts of energy as thrusters underneath this island slow the descent, as it slowly lowers itself down and plants itself against the seafloor. And then you
Holy
see
shit.
the top half of this island. It is absolutely massive. It is like a continent that is just touched down in front of all of you. You see massive pillars and towering skyscrapers that even continue up into the dark that you cannot see anymore. And everything is covered with glittering lights. It's as if this entire island was built in preparation for this catastrophic event and in order to survive the loss of the gods. It is, for a lack of better terms, very Bioshock-esque, but more of like Bioshock 3, where it's got sort of like the open landscape design. I don't know if anyone played Bioshock Infinite. That was my favorite one.
Agreed. Agreed.
But you can see
Nobody
that
likes
everything is
Bioshock
covered with
Infinite.
glittering lights. You can see like pyramids and skyscrapers and all sorts of signs and attractions designating different houses of gluttony and lust and greed and all sorts of other vices. And Cricket walks up against you and says,
It is the floating city. Vegas is here.
and you can see
I was
that.
about to say, they got some real Eldari situations going on.
Yes. You can actually see that there is one casino named Dorado, and Kreka points a long form and says,
That must be where they kept their treasures.
and you can see that like one massive golden spotlight is just shooting straight up into the sky, like a giant middle finger to all of existence from that building.
Havelock narrows his eyes towards the golden spotlight. And what I want to bone down?
I just like took off my helm. Just like brushed my eyes over and over. Like, am I crazy?
No, I see it too.
Yes, you're crazy, but
My only question now is, do we want to try and do this loud, or do we want to do this quiet?
if I'm
'Cause I
being
could go
honest,
for a
I think we
heist.
should do it loud.
if I'm being honest, really, Havelock that is still want to kill a lot.
You're a very concerning person sometimes, you know that?
I talk about eating you, and now you.
I can be an asshole sometimes. You don't even know them.
Exactly. We don't really know Soto. We've known Soto for what? A month? A few weeks? 3 days?
And how many times have we almost died together?
Me plus you. About 3 times.
Give or take.
This music was supposed to be playing while I was describing all that. It didn't go through. I'm kind of upset, but just imagine me describing the giant cities and glittering lights and all the various signs and attractions.
Well, if I'm being honest with you guys, yeah, point, yeah, skeleton kind of people that he read from, and what happened?
Go ahead.
Wait, you said
I was just
something
gonna
bad
say
happened.
that the little vampire kid I think is gonna try and sneak away.
Alright, I'm just gonna let him.
Okay.
No one's gonna believe him anyways.
He's like, he like runs away to about 60 feet, turns around, yells back to you, and says, "Nobody's gonna believe you." And then he just turns and runs into the city. And you can see that people are just sort of milling about. But nobody
Casual
pays
about
attention to any of you.
themselves falling out of the sky.
Yeah. They just
They knew
they
this was
planned
gonna
for this
happen.
event, and now that they're down here, they're just going back to their duties.
They knew
Let's
this
just
was
go
gonna happen.
steal the spear and explain later, guys.
Hey, Holger, do you think we can find a parking spot for this?
And I think that's where we're gonna end the session.